'Cause all I want is you, is you. It takes two.
What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kassia.
I can take you anywhere, I could take you home. I just wanna be there so you never feel alone.
And in this video, I'm going to be showing you 20 Netflix movie suggestions that you need to watch, because just saying need was not dramatic enough for me. So the first movie a bunch of people have probably seen, but it's called 5 Feet Apart, and it's about these two, I think they're teenagers, and they both have the same disease, which is called cystic fibrosis. And basically they make a relationship and fall in love with each other, but they can't go close to each other or it'll kill them both. It shows you a bunch of the different ways they try and hang out together without being too close. The next movie is called Rim of the World, and this is kind of like a science fiction kind of movie. It's about these 4 kids that are at a summer camp, and basically they go off and they're about to go on a canoe trip, but then they wander off by themselves. Then they hear a siren ringing, so they go back to the camp and everyone's gone. And it turns out that there's these aliens that have came down to Earth, and they have to get the certain key to the people in charge to save the world. The next movie is The Perfect Date, and it's about this guy, Noah Centineo plays the main guy, which Noah Centineo, I don't really have to say anything else. His character is in high school, and you can pay him to go on a fake date with you to like a party or something. The girl pays him to go on a fake date with him to a party, and when he shows up, they kind of grow a relationship together and start to form their relationship and kind of get feelings for one another. The next movie is MOXIE, and this movie is amazing. It's like really girl power and all that amazing stuff. It's about this girl who's in high school. Basically, a lot of the guys in the school are kind of downgrading women and saying a bunch of bad things about them and doing stupid things. So this one girl makes these flyers called MOXIE, and she hands them out, and it's basically like a girl power kind of flyer, like wear pink on this day to celebrate girl power, draw stars on your hand, and it like brings all the girls in the school together and even some of the guys, and she makes relationships along the way, and it's a great movie. The next movies are the Twilight movies, and a lot of people don't like these movies, which makes me a little angry. There's 5 of them. There's Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn 1, and Breaking Dawn 2. And basically it's about the main girl. Her name is Bella. She lives with her mom, and her mom's boyfriend is a professional baseball player, so they have to go off for one of his baseball trips, and Bella moves to the very small town named Forks with her father. And when she gets there, she goes to high school there and makes a bunch of new friends, and she eventually meets Edward Cullen, who is actually a vampire, and there's kind of a love triangle. Also, if you watch those movies, please tell me if you are team Edward or Jacob, but I'm team Jacob. The next movie is also a really popular movie, and it is the Kissing Booth movies. So there's Kissing Booth 1 and 2, and there's actually a 3rd Kissing Booth movie coming out very soon, but it's about this girl Elle and her best friend Lee, and they were born on the same day, and their mothers were best friends, so they grow up being best friends as well. And they have sort of a list, like a best friend's rule list that they have to follow. And the main rule on that list is that the main girl, Elle, is not allowed to date her best friend Lee's brother, who is Noah. And there's a carnival that they have, that they host a kissing booth, and that starts a lot more drama, and it's very good. The next movie is also very popular, as well as Kissing Booth. It's sort of in the same category of movies, and it is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. So there's actually 3 of those movies. The 3rd one just recently came out. The main girl, Lara Jean, has written 6 love letters over her life of all the guys she's liked, and she never sends them. She just writes them down, puts them in envelopes, and writes the address on them, but never sends them. However, one day her younger sister sends out the letters. First of all, I would die. Like, why? Okay, if you did that, why would you write the address on the letters to begin with? Because that's just like a problem waiting to happen. The next movie is Murder Mystery, and it's an Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston movie. They play a married couple in the movie, and they're sort of a poor couple who have been married for 15 years. The husband, Adam Sandler, promised the wife, Jennifer Aniston, that he would bring them on a trip. But on the way there, Jennifer Aniston's character meets a man on the airplane who's more on the rich side, and he tells her that he can bring her on his yacht with them instead of them having to go to a resort. So she obviously says yes to that. And Adam Sandler, his character, is an investigator. So when they go on the yacht, there's actually a murder mystery, shocker from the title. But yes, there's a murder that occurs. So the whole time, Jennifer Aniston and her husband, Adam Sandler, work together to try and figure out who the murderer is. The next movie is a pretty sad one, but it's still really good. It's called Midnight Sun. It's about the main girl, and her name is Katie, and she has the disease that she can't go into the sun. And if she goes into the sun, it'll burn her skin and eventually kill her. So she lives in her room and in her house all during the day, and she can go out during night. And she loves to play the guitar during her free time and goes to the train station at nighttime when people are leaving the train and just plays the guitar by the train station. And she ends up meeting this guy at night at the train station, and she creates a relationship with him and they get really close, but she never tells him that she can't go out into the sun. The next movie is Nerve, and this movie is amazing. The main girl named V is not a certain person that is very outgoing and does a lot of dangerous sort of things. So she likes to stay on the safe side. There's this game that comes out where it's like you have to do a bunch of dares, and for each dare you do, you earn a certain amount of money. So all her friends join it and they start playing, and you can either be a player or you can be a watcher, which is basically the audience. And she decides to join as a player. So she starts doing all these dares. Along the way, she meets a guy that's also playing the game, and they start playing it together, and it gets all scrambled up. But it's a very good movie. The next movie is another one that I'm pretty sure quite a bit of people have seen, but it is Tall Girl. It's about this girl who's 16 in high school, and she's 6'11.5", which is like so cool. Like that is amazing. It basically shows you what it's like to be that tall in high school and all the challenges she goes through of people bullying her. And then her boy best friend has actually liked her the entire time they've been friends, but she won't date him because he's so much shorter than her, which is really sad. And then he keeps on saying, it's not like there's gonna be a tall guy your height that walks in the door, is amazing, he's such a nice guy, like that's not gonna happen. And then during class one day, and it happens. The next movie is All the Bright Places, and it's about a guy and a girl who are both in high school, and they end up doing a project together where they have to explore Indiana, the town they live in, and they have to go to 3 different places that they have never been to before and just hang out there, take pictures, and write a little summary about it, and it brings you along their journey together and all the different places they go to. The next movie is called The Half of It, and it's about this girl in high school. She does other people's work at school and gets her to pay them, and then one time this jock comes up to her and asks her to write a love letter for one of the popular girls in the school. So she ends up writing the letter for him and ends up being friends with this jock. Then it turns out she's starting to grow feelings for the girl that she's writing the love letter to, but for the jock. The next movie, let's just take a moment of silence for the next movie. These movies are like my favorite movies for the after movies. A lot of people have probably watched them. They got popular a while ago. So there's 2, After and After We Collided, and there's actually a 3rd one, After We Fell, coming out very soon, so I'm really excited for that. There's also books of the movies, but it's basically about the main girl, Tessa, is going to university, and she has her boyfriend who is in grade 12 of high school while she's going to university. She shares a dorm with a girl who the mom does not approve of, but Tessa grows a friendship with her, and then she meets this guy named Hardin, and they grow a relationship together, and maybe it turns into something more. However, she still has the boyfriend who's in high school still, and it's just a little complicated situation, but it's very good. The next movie is Sierra Burgess is a Loser, and this is another Noah Centineo movie. This is the 3rd one so far. Basically, this girl who is very self-conscious of herself, but she's in high school and she doesn't have much friends, and she ends up becoming friends with a popular girl. Her whole high school she has loved this same guy, and basically her new popular best friend tries to help her get with this guy, and it turns out very interesting. The next movie is another two-series movie, and it's the Spider-Man movies, the ones with Tom Holland. I haven't seen the ones without Tom Holland because I feel like Tom Holland just fits the role amazing and like perfectly, so I feel like if I watched the ones without Tom Holland I'd be like, okay, I don't enjoy this as much. But the two Tom Holland Spider-Mans are Far From Home and Homecoming. There's actually a new one coming out soon, which I'm really excited about, but it's basically about normal Spider-Man theme. This kid who's in high school gets bitten by a radioactive spider. He turns out to be the neighborhood Spider-Man and fights crimes around the city. He even gets a chance to join the Avengers. The next movie is 17 again, and it is actually a Zac Efron movie, and his character plays an older man who kind of regrets the decisions he made while leaving high school, because he could have been a pro basketball player or gone into the business side, and he thinks he picked the wrong choice by picking the business. So he gets to relive being 17, hence the title 17 again. He gets to relive being 17 and gets the choice to choose his life path differently. The next movie is Feel the Beat, and this movie is about the main girl, April, who is a professional dancer and tries to join Broadway, but something bad happens and it doesn't really work out, so she ends up going back to the small town she was from. She ends up going back to her old dance studio and ends up helping the little girls that are learning to dance there get better at their dancing, and brings them to competitions. And there's also her ex-boyfriend. When she goes back to that town, it's a little awkward between them two, and you get to see if they fix the relationship or if it gets more awkward and how that kind of works. The next movie is The Duff, and Duff stands for Designated Ugly Fat Friend, which is really bad. Like, that is so bad. But there's the main girl. She has two best friends and they're really pretty, and she basically gets told by this stupid guy that she is their Duff. And she basically realizes that her friends maybe aren't the best people that she could be friends with. And the last movie is Blended, and it is also an Adam Sandler movie, which is about the guy that Adam Sandler plays. He has, I think, either 2 or 3 kids, and he ends up going on a blind date with another lady, and they end up at a resort. On an island, they end up at a resort with their kids, and they end up staying in that hotel together, and they have to share a room, each other and all their kids, and they actually hate each other because stuff that happened. So they end up building a relationship and kind of getting closer with each other, and their kids get close and make good relationships with each other, so it's really cute. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found some new movies to watch. Please make sure to like and subscribe down below, and have a great day. Peace.
'Cause all I want is you.